Kasahari is more like the Obrafo style rap.
Is it like because I feel like Obrafo is a bit more laid back.
Mm-hmm. No. So the Tema people took it and made it represent like people like Yapuno Sarkodie.
Okay.
But Kasahari, the first person to say Kasahari was Obrafo. So Kasahari is the Obrafo style.
All right, welcome people to another exciting episode of the people's favorite podcast. You know what it is. It's the Sincerely Accra podcast. Yes, we're back. And on this episode of Behind the Hits, we're talking to a very special icon. Yeah, a hit is what it is. I run into him actually over the weekend. You know, my friend has this new spot called Kaiba. So I went there and I saw him. You know, he's not in Accra. So this is kind of like a long time coming. I ran into him. I was like, oh my God, we have to do this thing, blah, blah, blah. And so we're here. This is like 3 or 4 days later. So it's very short notice, but we're going to kill it. So, I hate saying this thing without much ado. I'm in time crab. With little to do. Welcome, Kojo Q.
Kasapi.
I hate it, but anyway, how you doing?
Bro, I'm good.
Okay.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm managing. Yeah, I'm managing.
Lunch at Kaiba.
Oh, let's just move on. Let's just move on.
In the middle of the day.
Oh God.
You know, with no.
Can you imagine? I walk right into that.
I like to manage like you. Yeah, the way you're managing, if I could manage like that.
Kojo Q is just being modest, guys. Don't mind him. I'm surprised today you're not in a beanie.
Yeah.
You always have your beanie.
Yeah. Since I've been back, I think that has been one of the fixtures. But like you're saying, this is not
short
planned.
Notice.
Yeah.
So if you had known,
this is not planned. I'm in Accra for extracurricular activities.
Exactly.
But we had to do this.
Oh, yeah, we do. Because, you know, it's important that we have this conversation. It's been a long time coming, especially after the release of your last project. But I wanted to, you know, take a little back. My earliest memory of me hearing Daddy Lumba was somewhere in Mamprobi. My mom took me to a funeral, and it was a gun funeral because we were wearing red and black. So we had like this, you know how they pack the chairs after the funeral is over, and I was sitting on top of it, and guess the song that was playing?
Abenwa.
No, at a funeral.
Oh, Ankwanoma.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know that's one of your favorite songs, right?
Ankwanoma, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember.
Now, the reason I said Abenwa is, you know, I don't know if they do the same at gun funerals, but in Kumasi, like when the funerals are done.
Oh, Gunyo party.
Yeah, it's like you jam. So when you said they've packed the chairs. Yeah, that's why I went there.
No, it was Akanoma. And I remember hearing that Mire Soana Miko. And even at, I think it was 8, I was like, wow, everybody has a time. It was very, yeah. But anyway, I just, to segue, ask you, what's your earliest memory of listening to that Lumba?
As I sit here, it's harder to pinpoint the very first time I heard a Daddy Lumba song.
I mean, it can be the one you remember.
Yeah, but yeah, it's hard to. But like the most significant, like the one that's like stuck in my head most of the time is I was at a party. I'm sure I was like 9. Yeah, and I'm saying that because I'd heard that Lumba before, I'm sure, because they played it all the time.
Yeah.
But this is stuck in my mind. I'm at a party, and it's my auntie's party, and one of my uncles is fighting with his girlfriend, and the girl like fake passes out. And
really?
And
she put a fellow for you.
Yeah, fake passes out. Yeah, because I think he wanted to break up or something. The girl fake passes out, and they are pouring water on her and begging my uncle not to, whatever.
Leave her.
And there's Daddy Lumba playing in the background. I forget the exact, but I think this is around the time. Okay, so I might have been 10, 11, because this is around the time I think it was the Poison album or something.
That's my favorite Daddy Lumba album, Poison.
Yeah.
It's my favorite album.
Yeah.
From the cover.
It was the whole Poison album.
Yeah.
It's a party, but it's the whole album playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. You know, it's so funny. My very first introduction to you was Lavender.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie. Me, I don't go way back to The Shining and all of the other things. I'll be very honest with you.
That was it's fine. Yeah. It's fine.
The new joint drop where you bring some checks. And I remember, you know what it is? You know, in the beginning, you guys were in this warehouse, right? And you were walking towards the camera. Honestly, I'm a visual person. I enjoy a lot of visual arts, and very few people sell it to me in music videos. And I just remember how you walked up and just started. I was like, hey, who is this guy? And then like you were like English, and then you go, I was like, yes, who is this? Yeah, so that's my very first introduction to you. And then of course, you know, subsequently I worked with VI, and I used to hear your name all the time from Kafui, right? Oh, Kojo Q. I'm like, hey.
Why? Shout out to Kaf.
Yeah, shout out to him. But what is your fondest memory of growing up in Kumasi?
It has to be between football, just the football culture, because I was a football fan before I was a music fan. Or I wanted to play football before I wanted to be a rapper. Yeah. So just the football culture, like every neighbor, and I lived in different neighborhoods, but every neighborhood that you will live in will have a local team, will have a park.
And you were in the team?
No. And those local teams will play. I was not old enough to be in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Those local teams will play what they call codes football.
What?
With other neighbor Colts.
Colts.
Colts. C-O-L-T-S. Colts.
Oh, okay, Colts.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in Kumasi, we'll call it Coast.
Okay.
Coast.
Okay.
Yeah. So they'll play, and then when the local team will have a match, and the other team will come from wherever they are coming from, the whole park will be filled, and they are taking money. But the whole park will be filled, and people will be, because their houses are just around, and people will be in their houses. They haven't paid, but they're watching. Yeah. And if we lose, sometimes it gets violent.
Oh,
I used to enjoy it as a kid, but as a grown up,
we used to have a lot of those like communal things when we were younger, right? Hey, Ghana says it will be up so you're independent. Yeah,
it's the community. That's what's going on.
I remember because even I grew up Snifflats, Dansoman, and you know we used to gather to watch TV in somebody's corridor and things like that. We don't do that anymore. So I know that you formed the collective, The Q, with P Wizzle, right? Who, by the way, he has this thing. I don't know if you know the Q live sessions. Yeah.
You love it, huh?
Yeah. I watched IEC recently on one. Oh my God, by the way, IEC, I'm looking for you. You formed that in 2011, 2012?
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
You posted something on social media. I just want to read. It's like the vision. When we formed The Q, the vision was to find a way to break down the door for Kumasi so all the rest of us could walk in. Okay. I'm just because you mentioned everybody and everything. I don't know if that's necessary. But when did you get the realization that you need to like break out of the Kumasi area, whatever, to be prominent stars? So
by the time I started actively doing music, I had already come to Accra a few times. Yeah, I came to Accra to find a manager, and then went back to Kumasi to record. And so, and I'd also interacted with other people that were in that industry. I had met Ochame Kwame already, met Flo Kingston already, DJ Slim. So I kind of we had an understanding, or we were clear on the fact that a bulk of what makes things move in the music industry is in Accra. So you could be in Kumasi and be the biggest artist in Kumasi, but until you break down that door in Accra, it kind of doesn't translate nationally to everybody else. Like we see it even now with when people are in the north and like they're superstars over there. But then because they
Fancy Garam is so big in the north.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because it hasn't translated to Accra. So for us, it was just how do we, because I think we had hit our ceiling in Kumasi. Not me personally, but like some of the people that were around. Like Kaboom was big. Kaboom was huge.
Kaboom.
Shout outs to Kaboom. Yeah. Kaboom was huge. I paid to watch Kaboom perform before I even knew him.
Oh, okay.
And so like that's how big he was, right? So he was a type of big that if it had happened in Accra, automatically he would have been national.
Yeah.
But because it happened in Kumasi, Sunyane, around that area, he was huge. Accra was crickets. You understand? Crickets. Yeah, it was crickets. Like, so for us, it was important that we find a way, because we knew what we were doing was great. You know, we knew like people had the talents. We knew that we were just as talented as anybody anywhere else. We just needed for the rest of the country to pay attention. And it seemed the rest of the country only pays attention when
you're in Accra. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what like sparked the whole thing.
In your interview with DJ Slim, he said Q stands for Can You Entertain?
Oh, Q actually doesn't stand for anything. Specifically, we chose Q because it's like next in line, and when a DJ is about to play up the next thing that has to blow, he kind of cues it up. But once we chose that, and once again it was me, because I'm more of the social media guy at this time.
Facebook King Kong.
Yeah, Facebook King Kong at this time. So once we chose that, people will ask, "Oh, what does the Q mean?" And I kind of felt like the next in line thing didn't translate to them as much. So I was trying to figure out how I could make it more interesting. Yeah. So we just CUE. Can you entertain? Can you educate? Like,
okay.
Like that. Yeah.
All right.
And then just people, yeah. So that's why he said that. But it wasn't that we agreed that that's what it meant. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But, given how, marketing oriented you were, I found it very interesting that your rap name was just going to be Kojo before you added the Q.
I struggle with names. I don't know why.
We all do.
Yeah, I struggle with naming. I've always struggled with naming things. And just this year, I realized how I could have just called myself a name I've always had, and it's such a dope name.
What name is that?
I don't want to say it now because
is that your government name?
No, my government name is Linford Kennedy Amankwa. Yes. I don't like Linford much. There's a story behind that, but cool. But the Kennedy, the Kennedy was not supposed to be Kennedy. It's Kenny. It's Kani.
Okay.
Kenny, which means like first. But
like Kani.
Yeah. Okay. Akani.
Okay.
Akani is like but without the Akan, like Kenny.
Okay.
Kani.
I know you went to GIJ.
Yeah.
What was the plan? Because around this time you knew you wanted to do music.
Yeah.
What was the plan for GIJ?
I just needed to be in Accra.
You didn't care about the education?
No. I just needed to be in Accra to be able to like kind of work with certain people and move a certain way. And by the time I made that decision, one of my only options was GIJ, but I chose GIJ because of Asem. Because Asem also went to GIJ.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Asem also went to GIJ. So then I was like, and that's one of my favorite rappers as well. So I was like, oh, yeah. Cool. I don't really care about like the education bit, but let's figure it out. And then,
do you have a song with him?
Yeah, I have. How many songs? I have one song with him. Yeah, we did two, but the second one never. Yeah,
I have to go and find it. Then I also enjoy Asem quite a lot.
Yeah, Asem was incredible.
Okay, so I want you to tell us how you and Lil Shika became friends and why you consider him one of your favorite artists.
Yeah. So. I consider him one of my favorite artists because when I came to Accra to find a manager, I didn't live in Accra, so I didn't know about Skillions. I didn't know about J So and the first generation of Skillions and all those. I didn't know about Shika and all those people. But when I came to Accra to find a manager, I heard a song from Shika and Sarkodie, and it was because Sarkodie was on it that I checked out. They had this song called I know the biz. And this was early Sarkodie days, so he's not big, but in Kumasi, he's more popular than Sheka or whatever. They had the song, him, Bra Kevin, and Sarkodie, I know the biz. So I saw it on Reverb Nation, and I liked the song. And then I saw that they were about to put a project out. He and his gang, they were about to put a project out. And I lived in Dansoman at the time.
Really? Where?
Yeah, Sahara.
Wow, I've lived in Dansoman my whole life.
Sahara. You know what the Alpha Vita
Yes,
is?
yes.
That lane. I lived on that
Okay,
lane.
since Augustine's church.
Yeah, I lived on that, right behind, I lived on that lane. So, I found out that it was coming out, and one of the people who was selling it lived in Dansoman as well, Quakes. I don't know if you know Quakes.
Okay, I've heard that name.
Yeah, Quakes. So he lived in Dansoman as well. And so I hit him up that I wanted to buy. And I met him at Dansoman Roundabout, and I bought the CD. And I went back home, and I ripped it off the CD and put it on my iPod. I had a small.
Yeah, oh my goodness. The Gen Z people don't know the struggle.
Put it on my iPod. And I was totally blown away by Sheka and Kevin.
Right.
Like, I was totally blown away. Because they were doing music in a way that I wanted to do music, but I was afraid that maybe people won't connect to it because everybody else was doing Kasahari. Everybody around me was doing Kasahari or a version of it. And I grew up on Kasahari as well.
Just for the people who don't know, Kasahari is?
So Kasahari is more like the Obrafo style rap.
Is it like because I feel like Obrafo is a bit more laid back.
No. So the Tema people took it and made it represent like people like Yapuno Sarkodie. Okay. But Kasahari, the first person to say Kasahari was Obrafo. So Kasahari is the Obrafo style, like in Chi, proverbs, saying funny stuff. That's Kasahari.
Yeah.
You understand? Okay. So saying funny stuff, that's Kasahari. But it was for Obrafo, to him, Kasahari was just him saying hip life. But because he became so influential for a certain era of rappers, and a lot of people started kind of rapping like that. That became the sound of
a lot of people. Yeah.
And then Kasahari. Yeah. So a lot more of the people that were around me were doing music like that, or a more polished version of it. Right?
Okay.
But I did not, because once again, in Kumasi, we don't speak Pidgin that well. So nobody's rapping in Pidgin. Nobody is doing like multiple wordplay like Lil Wayne is doing in his music. Like that. But they're doing incredible music. So when I heard Kevin and Sheka, they were doing that. Yeah. You understand? They were doing that, and they were doing it in Pidgin and Ga, and sometimes in English. And sometimes even in Chi.
Like, and also very animated, right?
Yeah. They're like, and they had a huge following in Accra. So like, so people actually will listen to this thing. Oh, nice. So when I went back to Kumasi, it changed the way I was going to approach. So if I didn't buy that New Generation mixtape, I would have made music differently. Oh, okay. Yes. But like hearing that, okay, so I can do this. And then I went back. So when I went back to Kumasi, the music that I was making was different from everybody else around me. It was so different that Pee Wee actually introduced me to the Accra boys. Because at that time, his studio was where all the people that came to KNUST came to record. Most of the people that came from Accra, from Nigeria, that's how Mr. Easy Gets in the Mix came to record. And he had a bunch of people coming from Accra who he liked. And when I started doing that, he noticed that, it's similar to them. So he connected me to them. Kwesi Trigger, Looney TKR, Lyrical ones.
Oh, I see. That's interesting. I mean, the hustle's always been real, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember 2012, I worked in the production department at VAS at one. So that was when I started to meet a lot of celebrities. And I also kind of, because they would come to the studio and stuff, and then you realize that, okay,
It's just like me.
just
right?
regular people. At least here in Ghana, because I guess maybe in America, they have the whole Hollywood, they come with a team. Yeah, which is more now than back then. Back then, people were just
pull up. Yeah.
I see. Okay, so For My Brothers is such a huge record. I feel like that's the first project of yours that I listened to fully. I'm not even gonna lie. Pen and Paper, I had a few favorites, but For My Brothers was huge. And Workaholics Anonymous. A lot of people relate to that song, And just talking about the struggle, I find it very sad for me that being an adult, you have to work forever. You have to continue making money. Even when you retire, you have to find a way to, you can decide, I'm going to have kids so that they'll take care of me. But that's not even a secure plan, because about me to me, Jimmy. And I know you make your music from a lot of experiences and stuff. Where did Workaholics Anonymous come from?
Workaholics was actually me. First of all, it was Kaf's story, more Kaf's story than mine. It was more Kaf's story than mine, because he had, around the time I wanted to write a song like that, he had just gone through from VI to trying to get a 9 to 5. And, feeling like he failed at that and failed at the 9 to 5 as well. So I was like, oh, this will make for an interesting angle. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because myself, I don't have that much experience on the 9 to 5 end. Yeah, I can't lie. I don't have that.
You never really had a 9 to 5?
No, when I finished SS, I tried to work with even now on, we started off as partners, and then later he said that I was just an employee. My cousin wanted me to run his photocopy business. Oh, okay. And then he said, oh, let's be partners. We will split. After 3 months, the thing is moving well. And I'm the only one that works there. He has a 9 to 5, so he's working there. I'm the only one working there. He comes and he's like, that brings another person to come in. I should teach this person. Also, we are moving on to, I'm a salaried worker. Then the other 3 months, he will pay me.
Wow.
So, all right, cool, it's fine.
Is this the same cousin that gave you the Paimuka record?
No.
Oh,
that's a different person.
Yeah.
I work for. This person wasn't even really my cousin. It's like a family friend.
Family friend, yeah. Ghana for? Yeah.
Yeah. So I worked for another 3 months. Still no pay for all those 6 months. So I quit. My mom was like, yeah, you just are like, so I quit. And then the next time I will have a 9 to 5 was when I came to GIJ, and my manager kind of gave me an internship as a copywriter, because he had an advertising firm. But even most of that was so I could be, because he had a studio in there as well, so I could be there,
right,
and also work on music. And then after that, right after GIJ, I got signed to BBNZ, and then got what do they call it? I got signed to BBNZ, and then they let me do my national service at Daily Guide.
Daily Guide?
Yeah.
What were you doing at Daily Guide? Were you writing?
I wasn't doing anything. That's the thing, because they own Daily Guide.
Own it, sure.
Yeah, so I wasn't doing anything.
Paper,
I was
right.
just, oh, he's there. But I was at BBNZ making music. The only thing I've had close to 9 to 5 was when I was working for Pee-wee as a studio. But it didn't really feel like a 9 to 5 to me, because I was just making music.
Copywriting actually does suit your skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that too for a year at an agency, and it's so interesting to find out it doesn't even follow the natural rules of grammar. You just get to be very skillful. Yes. So I think that also contributes to your penmanship, because you're very skillful with the words. I guess. Yeah.
Maybe I had the words before I went there though. Yeah.
I know you got the name For My Brothers from a line in Mensa's song. Can you tell that story?
So Anna, Mensa has a song, Anna. They say that this one take us to the Grammys and the Oscars. But showing the Oscars and the Grammys, this is For My Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm a big Mensa fan. Let me put that out there. Like, as far as his music goes, huge Mensa fan. Off of when I heard him on Reggie Rockstone's song, the album they had together. I had my Puka first, it was okay, but they have this other song on the album. Timo Chain, this when he said it blew my mind. And then I had him with VIP on If You Don't Know, Now You Know.
Yes, that's my introduction to Mensa.
Blew my mind again. And then he had I've forgotten what the name of his first project was. And then after that, Number One, Mango Street and stuff. So I was a big fan. But when I heard Anna and I heard that line, I felt like it described for me perfectly my reason for making art. Because it has never been about money, it has never been about fame. I don't even like I don't like eyes. I like to be in my corner. But it was just to be able to tell my story in the hopes that it affects people like me.
Yeah.
So when he says, Sean Nells gets on the Grammys, this is
for my brothers.
Yeah. I felt the same way. Yeah.
Because I also do feel like you don't really get a lot of, like during awards or whatever, I don't see Kojo Q nominated. And
for the 2 years that we did Pen and Paper, I guess that's the most nominated I have been.
Commercial.
That's the most commercial I've been in my life for the 2 years that we did Pen and Paper.
Yes, For My Brothers should have won awards.
The thing is, a part of it is probably me too. I don't do industry as much as I need to do. And also I think because internally I don't want it. It's not like a part of my prayer points, you understand?
Prayer points.
No, like, cause I do believe in attracting like, the things that you want. And if you want it, like you put all your energy behind it. So I think because I don't want it, when the universe is trying to put my blessings together, it doesn't really consider it.
I find that so interesting because, in this game, especially like in this very highly marketed era, if you want to go far, you have to play the industry game, go to the parties, be seen here and do all those kind of things. I guess it comes down to what you want and you are actually influencing people. Because I was looking at, the For My Brothers concerts and the feedback, the tweets. People really, really appreciate that record.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like the energy that night. And I was even doubtful that people will come like that. And then
really?
They come. Yeah.
Hey, why you don't know who you are?
I don't. Yeah, I
he's giving African modesty. Yes,
no. It's not because of that. I feel like I don't, and I feel like I prefer it this way. You understand? I feel like it helps me stay grounded.
Right. Which is very important.
Stay grounded, to think of myself as. So I go and buy Wache and people say, my name coordinator. Oh, now let me be in a
no personal assistant to go and do that.
Yeah, I'm trying to be in that zone and maintain as much humanity as I can. Yeah, so maybe I don't know who I am.
Yeah. No, but music on that record is very relatable,
And it's amazing that I will come into this game off of hearing an Obrafour song.
Right.
On the album that most people say is the best hip life album of all time. And then make an album that people feel that way about.
Right?
Yeah.
No, honestly, I think adding, it gives, I get tones of that when I listen to Workaholic Anonymous. Do you agree?
I agree. I think every song I make, apart from things like Lavender and stuff, but most of the songs I make, I think are me just trying to remake Aden again. Yeah, like honestly.
Yeah. Because I was actually
not remake the song, but the feeling.
Yes,
how it
evoke
felt to
that
me,
same
that same energy. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Okay, so She the Song Part 2. I worked with VI, so I know Adome's original She the Song, which is things don't always have to be perfect. Why did you decide to take the song and do a part 2? in the way that you did it?
Oh, the very first day I heard the song, I told her, this is my favorite song from you, and I'm going to remake it. And then we just laughed it off. And then when we were putting the album together, of course, Kafu was
yeah.
We are looking for an ending. And I'm like, bro, I think this is it. I think this is the perfect. Yeah. Because it's one of those songs that when I heard it, I was like, why didn't I think of this? But also, whenever I remake a song from a peer or somebody that I respect, it is my way of trying to either put it in front of new people that may not have been
heard it,
to it back then, or trying to amplify it some more, because there are just certain songs I think more people should have heard the song.
Yeah.
Like it bothers me that this people is so incredible when people didn't hear it.
Because I remember when I was listening to For My Brothers and then that song because I wasn't even looking at the track list. I was like, oh my God, I know the song. Yeah, really cool. Reynolds the Gentleman, who is, the theme song for Sincerely Accra, Mama, is by Reynolds. I know he produced your concerts.
Yeah, and he played on there as well. So the very first time I met Kaf, I told him that if I had met them being VI before I signed to BBNZ, I probably would have been a VI.
Really?
Yeah, I told him
that's wow.
I didn't even know what was going on your end, but just sitting back and watching how things were happening. I felt like, these people get it.
I would have been your social media manager.
Yeah. I felt like, these people get it. So the first time I met her, I remember I was like at VGMA's Adoma. I just won the
Unsung.
And then he was passing by and he tapped me. And then he was like, we had spoken before because of a song I wrote with Biko, and I thought that Adoma would be perfect for it. So we gave it to Adoma.
This is Biko from Super Jazz Club.
Yeah.
Right.
So we gave it to Adoma. And so we had spoken before. So I think when he saw me, he tapped me and he was like, hey. And I was like, oh, what's up? And it's like, oh, Ivan's Adoma's manager. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Then I was like, I wasn't expecting you to be this young. But then again, it makes sense that you're this young.
Right.
Because of the perspective that you're bringing. If you're somebody that were older and in the industry already, you probably wouldn't be. Yeah.
No, it's crazy because I went to school with Adome's brother. So that's it. And I remember Joshua. I remember who, by the way, I know he's on the first, For My Brother, the first song. I hear his vocals. I know Joshua's vocals. We used to be in a singing group together. Yeah.
So the next album, are you doing where should we put you?
Tell me what you want me to do. Because I sing, people know I sing.
It's about to happen.
I just never took it seriously.
Yeah.
But I remember there was a show at Trade Fair and I just saw Adoma and I walked up to, I think Joshua, and I said, I want to join your team. And then they invited me and I was just blown away, But anyway, segueing, I've watched a lot of your interviews and you keep telling people that, after For My Brothers, I needed to go back and experience life. That's why I went, blah, blah, blah. My theory is the record was so big, the follow-up for you was giving you the Cardi B effect. It's like, this is such a big record. I don't know if I can top it. So let me just... is that what's happening?
No. I have never, or I don't think of music in those terms. I don't think of trying to top a thing.
The last thing that you did?
No.
Really?
No. I think everything is its own thing. You understand? And you can, if you agree that you've made something that's a classic, how do you top that?
True.
Do you understand? Yeah. So, and when I was making For My Brothers, nobody was there. You understand?
Right, yeah.
So it is not now that I am coming to invite all these, you have to top it. No. We had a plan for what we were going to do, and we started. Even once For My Brothers in first quarter 2020, I was already deep into doing
the follow-up.
but life happened. A lot of life happened.
Yeah.
A lot of life happened. We saw COVID. We saw a lot of life happened. And I just music wasn't the first thing.
It wasn't a priority during
that period for me, you know.
Yeah. I think it's very hard for fans and listeners to understand, because for them, your music is like what they used to cope.
Yeah.
But they forget that the same things that they go through, you're also, you know.
Oh, I did put a project out after For My Brothers. I put out an EP.
Wait, what was it called?
21 Memory Lane.
Oh, yeah. I missed that.
Most people missed, because I think it was 2021, but For My Brothers was still like in people's heads, so most people missed that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and also another thing that hurts, it was a Boomplay exclusive for like 2 weeks. So I think
those kind of releases always, you know,
fly under the radar sometimes. Yeah.
I remember Mactonto, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to understand why the song was called Mactonto. So I know Mactonto. See, I googled Mactonto. I was reading on him. Oh, this guy fuses African sounds and Western sounds. I was like, maybe that's what, because you know you do this English to Tree thing very well. And then I listened to you on an interview say, "Oh, I'm just blowing my own trumpets on this song," and I was like, Mactonto used to blow. He played the trumpet. So that's why it's called Mactonto.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh my goodness. Genius.
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's so wild. Yo. No, but okay. I really like the basketball commentary that runs through it. I'm a big fan of themes, and you've explained that, you know, MJ's coming back into the game was one of the reasons why you did that. Is MJ your favorite basketball player?
I'm from Kumasi. I'm a football person.
Oh, so you own your basketball car?
Now I watch it, but I'd never watched it from.
So you just took the thing.
So it was actually Clay's idea, and I kept crying that I wish Messi had retired and come back. That would make more sense. That would have made more sense. But it kind of also fits. Also because rap and basketball are like so close. But I only recently started watching basketball because almost everybody around me was watching it. So I'll say, obviously, for a newcomer, my favorite player is like Steph. Like everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But for all the other people, maybe I knew Iverson because he kind of transcended the basketball a bit into my culture, which is hip hop culture.
Right.
I didn't follow it that much.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Well, that's interesting. I was going to have a whole conversation with you. Okay, so on Some Way, what's that? Upesa ukoji sikedu. Na sikedu ye koji no infa. Uni malam biana. When you were considering, was there like a malam? I know they have Facebook accounts.
I've known malams before, like even in SS, because in SS the thing wasn't even sikedu. The thing was, there was this stupid culture in Kumasi around that time of the school going to beat up the school, this person going to beat up this person. So in essence, the thing was going to see somebody that will so
will give you powers when you go
when they hit you, and since you won't feel it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Or someone will steal somebody's thing at the dorm and they will say that you have to go to some malam because they suspect that it was you and you have to go and put your hand in something. And if it is you, your hand will cut and stuff like that. Yeah. But, me saying that I've never actually tried to go take Sikadu. Me saying that is just trying to, I'm speaking for people that may have felt like that. Me
that.
Personally,
right.
No, yeah.
I see. And if we're moving right on to Free Throw, right? Mm-hmm. You said Merrill Girl on there. And I went back to You Niggas Be Some Way. And I was like, there was the part where you were like, you did follow your partying girl. Yeah. You Niggas Be Some Way.
Yeah.
But then you come to
But I wasn't talking about my parties. On there. Was I?
Okay. So like somebody that is not your friend.
Like random person.
Okay. He has cleared it.
But it's just also really braggadocio rap. It's not really meant to be taken literally like, oh, I'm following you to where your girl.
Oh,
like,
I know. You're happily married. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, on 32, which was very controversial. I heard you said when you heard the what's Quick Smoke, right?
Yeah.
You sent it to Strongman and he was like, yeah, you can put it on and everything. Did you expect that after Strongman said it's cool, it can be on the record? Did you expect everything that happened afterwards to happen, or you thought that like the record would come out and then they wouldn't, reignite their beef?
No, I knew they'll reignite it like a few days too, because initially the communication from Strong was that you can put it out, and then I think at that time he hadn't heard it. He just played it for his manager.
Oh.
And then later he was hanging around with my cousin and his manager again, and then my cousin, he was like, oh, he wants to hear it, and then my cousin played it for him, and then he was like, he was going to let it be, but Smoke is talking about his mother, and he can't let that slide.
Yeah.
So the only way he will be okay is if I also kind of give him the beat, and
So
he
that he
also
would
does
do,
his thing. And then initially he even wanted to be on the song. Yeah, be on the same song. But I felt like that was a bit much. Like that will feel to Smoke like I have gone behind his back to go and do. And I didn't want it to look like I was going behind anybody's back.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to be open. Like, you guys have your thing. I'm not involved in it. But this is what it is. Yeah.
Which is very interesting because, Strongman is on the album.
As well, yeah.
And I was expecting that in his verse.
I did offer him that option, but he wanted the same. Yeah. I did offer him that option that if he wants, he could change.
Yeah, and then put something in there.
And then he said, no, he wants the same exact.
Yeah, because I remember when I was listening to the album and I saw I was like, oh, we're going to get a reply. And I had to listen to it twice. I was like, where's the reply?
Where's the reply? Yeah.
Anyway, okay, what's a 1931? Is that alcohol?
That's beer.
Which beer is that?
It's not, is it 1931 or 1932? Club beer, like the year that it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does everybody know it by 1931?
Like real club beer
drinkers
know it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what's that?
Yeah, real club beer people know.
My favorite line from that song, boy, is serious. How much he did it. Like, where else are you getting this from? I really enjoyed that part. But can you explain what we know face to the top we relocate? I can't understand it. What we know face to the top we relocate.
What haven't we faced? Like, what challenge haven't we faced?
Okay.
And to the top we relocate is we are just moving from.
Oh, so it's two separate sentences. Oh, look at me. I was reading like English grammar.
What's he trying to say?
I was like, I kept listening. Okay. So on City Casa, I think you said something about your dad, and I was listening to you on If More Let's Divide, and you were talking about how your dad always brings you clothes that he thinks that rappers should be wearing, and you don't like them. But what
I do wear them like for rapper stuff.
Oh, okay. I want to know what kind of things that you bring you bomber jackets.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like if you've seen me in anything that you felt looked very rapper,
is your dad.
It's probably him. Like 80% of the time.
Wow, I find it so interesting.
Yeah, like like you kind of like someone way be no Moshe channel. Yeah. Oh, and I think everything he gives me because one, I realize it's his way to bond now, and two, I may not wear it, but a music video or something might come up and stylists might say, "Oh, something." I have this.
Yeah. But it was also very interesting to just hear the relationship you have with your dad, which now I've come to accept that a lot of Ghanaians kind of have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My dad went away to Japan for about 4 or 5 years. So I also met him like when I was a bit older. But he was present. Yeah. So when I was listening to it, I was like, oh, okay, it's very relatable. Yes. So, and I think that's what makes people really gravitate towards you when they feel like they share the same stories that you talk about. Yeah.
So I'm just, once again, I'm
the regular person.
Yeah. I'm just talking about what people that grew up in our era was regular to them. That's all.
True,
You know, I'm just trying to make sense of everything that has brought me to this point. Because like you're saying, like you said earlier, sometimes you wish that, you know, you didn't have to work
gosh,
as an adult. You know? But when you were younger, you wanted to
work.
You wanted to like be old.
I guess, but
you never saw the adults going out.
Bruh, it didn't look that way. It looked like they had free will.
Do you think it looks like that to your younger brother?
I think that's why it looks like I'm having fun. Because my brother now, he will be telling me things like, when are you interviewing IR Star?
Exactly.
If you interview IR Star, let me know. I'll come to say.
You understand?
That's his mind.
Yeah. To them, it looks like you're having fun.
Boy. Yeah. I hate it. Happy ending. You don't think there's any such thing as a happy ending?
No.
Really?
Because everybody dies.
Oh, and so that's not happy.
That's not.
But if you live like a long, fulfilled life with your partner,
that's still not a happy ending like that. Because there are still people that are going to kind of be sad. There are still people that are going to be affected by your absence.
Right.
You understand? And you lived a long, fulfilled life with your partner, unless maybe you both die
together.
Time.
One will go first, then one will be sad.
Yes, and the person that is going will be sad that they are leaving the other one behind. The person that is left behind is sad before they go.
That's if the person that is going knows that they are about to go.
Yeah. So sometimes.
Yeah. But you also said there's no such thing as a life better than yours. I think.
No, it's a J. Cole. J. Cole has a song, Love Yours, where he says no such thing as a life that's better than yours. And I am kind of just looking at it from the opposite end. You know, so I think as a life I'm using his melody so people know I'm quoting him. And I'm just looking at it from the other POV, like, yeah, I get that sentiment, but you know, would you rather be in Gaza?
And that's where you brought CJ Biggerman into it.
Yeah.
What did
I had to call CJ, by the way.
You called him?
Yeah, I had to call him after the fact. I use CJ Biggerman because of like Rick Ross.
Yes, I understand.
Because of like that whole, you know.
Why did you call him after?
Because when it dropped, I realized that a certain section of the Ghanaians who don't understand rap like that were trying to interpret it as a diss.
Of course.
So I called him up and I was like, because I've known CJ too for like a long time. Yeah, I've known him for a long time when he was coming up. He used to come around PVs with his sister and they were like really cool people. Yeah. And
how did you feel about it?
So I called him up and I was like, bro, I'm seeing this on the timeline. I hope you do not feel that way about it. And I was like, bro, I'm a rapper, of course. I know what it's like. Don't worry, I'm a rapper.
A good sport. Yeah.
You know, I get it. So I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. So it wasn't a slight at all. And the reason I used CJ and Rick Ross was because of the line after. I wanted to talk about a person that I knew when we were in GIJ. There was this hostel that most of my friends were staying at, and we would go there after school to hang out. And sometimes on the weekend we would throw parties and just jam. And there was this guy over there. We used to call him Biggie. That's what we all knew him by.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was not in GIJ, so I don't know where he was, but he was in the hostel. And he used to be so fascinated by us partying and everything. He used to always say, hey, Charlie, we school now, moko TV, so I'm on Kaimio, and I'm catch on say Biggie.
Yeah.
And he died before we finished GIJ. So I used the two of them because of their weight. So would you rather be CJ or Rick Ross or homie from around the way? Remember him, Biggie? He said shout him out when you made it to TV. Died some months later. He didn't even get to see me. That was why his name even popped in there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that puts it all together. Yeah. So I know, and that brings us to the end of the music on I'm Back. 7 songs, really great, powerful. Ooh, you know, a lot of people say you are like Ghana's J. Cole.
I do not want to be, especially considering
that he just came out and apologized.
all the things that's happened. No, but I do. I get the comparisons.
Yeah.
I get the comparisons. We are both very everyday guy. You know,
yeah, you just have been growing out your hair.
We try to be very everyday, very calm, and we both kind of are building our own lane, and we are both storytellers.
But I don't think you would come and apologize for this on a stage.
I most likely never diss, but if I put it out, I'm not apologizing for whatever happens when this is out.
Yeah, you handle it.
Yeah, after that we'll deal with it.
Yeah,
but I'm not apologizing for this and pulling it out. Yeah, unlike him, I am not very easily peer pressured.
Hey, I saw an interview where you were like, maybe you're the most I don't care person.
Yeah, I really don't. I really don't. And all my friends know that I really don't. You cannot bully me into a
doing
position
anything
that I don't.
Yeah.
If I don't want to do, I don't want to do.
So I know you are into music marketing now.
Yeah.
I was so geeked when I found out that you are behind Rain Labs with Benoit, Mikey Ashka, and Trebla. These are all people I know. And you guys were behind the Blue EP, which, by the way, you know that song, You Remind Me of a Girl I Used to Know. I feel like that song should have been the biggest song.
I feel the same way.
Cheap, because it's very Anqua Numa beats coded.
I feel the same way. I feel this. I actually thought it was going to happen because around the same time, Lord Paper also had a song that had the same bounce. So I really wanted it to happen, but it didn't go that. I feel like it would have been a fresh sound for Ghana.
Listen, I was even telling Kitty, do a music video where the oversized suit from the... Oh man, that song was so good. That was fire. Yeah, but you guys are really doing well with Rain Labs.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
I know now that you're in the music marketing business, right? What would you say, if you had to give like Ghanaian artists one tip, what would it be?
Just one tip.
Yeah, just one.
Charlie, you need to approach your career with the same energy and with the same professionalism that you would have approached it if you were like a doctor. That's the one thing that I'll tell. It's the same thing. Just because it's entertainment and just because it comes with fame doesn't make it any different from someone that's doing a 9-to-5 and dedicating. It still needs the same amount of hard work. It still needs the same amount of focus.
Right.
Yeah.
Same amount of showing up in your best way possible.
Every day.
Instead of entitlement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Kojo, my last question to you would be, what do you want Ghanaians to understand about your artistry?
That's okay.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, they ask questions about the awards, they ask questions about like, it's like, you're in the game, but it's like you're not playing the games. What do you want people to understand about your artistry?
I think people need to understand that it's important to me that I tell a certain story. It's important to me that I tell it a certain way and that story impacts whoever it will impact. Right? A lot of the other things that they want from me, it's cool. I appreciate it, but they are not really as important to me. Out of everything that people will probably want from me, money is the one thing that I agree with. The money is the one thing that I agree with.
City casa.
Yeah. But everything else, right? Yeah. Like, if I could sell 1 million records and nobody knows my face, I'll be so happy. Yeah, like I'll be so happy.
You should have started out with what are they call? Is it Daft Punk?
Yeah, I have thought about it. Like, why didn't I try that back then? Yeah, if I could do that, I'd be so happy. So I want them to understand that about me. That if you're going to do something for me, instead of maybe fighting an award show to
recognize
me, put the music that I make into somebody's hands. Try to let them see what you see in me.
Right.
That's more important to me. It's more important to me that when I do a show, people are in the front row literally crying over some of the music. People are coming up to me telling me this song saved my life. I was doing this. That is the most important thing.
Yeah.
To me, as far as art is concerned.
Yeah, because art's supposed to move you. I just like that now you are behind the scenes with music marketing, trying to, push, because I didn't even know you were behind some of these projects. And I just want to say, keep doing what you do, because people see it and people appreciate it. You know what I mean? And to the Ghanaians, listen, I always say this. We have the talent. We have the people. If we keep focusing on comparisons with one country or something and complaining about the things that are not there, it doesn't help anybody. Project what is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's facts.
Project what is there. And
also, I am sad because I came here and 3 of the questions I was expecting I didn't get.
What?
I didn't get a question about Miss Bell. How can I come here?
But
don't ask me anything about Miss Bell.
What am I going to ask you about Miss Bell? Could you cue?
And don't ask me anything about Miss Bell.
What do you want me to ask you about Miss Bell? What did you expect I'll ask you about Miss Bell?
You should have asked me, why do I think Miss Bell is the greatest artist of all time? And why?
Okay, do you want to tell us?
You see, you didn't ask me, so, yeah.
Oh, but you know what? I want to give a shout out. Kujikyu's wife is the associate professor of pharmacology. I think that was February this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, big shout out to you. Yeah, I just wanted to let people know.
Yeah. Shout outs to her.
Anyway, what should people expect from you? Where can they find you? Final words.
Where can you find me in real life, dear? Don't come and find me. Just come to the shows. You can. I'm on socials. Kojo_Q. The Q being CUE. Twitter, Instagram mostly. I have a Facebook, but I haven't opened Facebook in a long time. I think when I discovered Twitter, I just
gave up on it.
I gave up on everything else. Even Instagram, I'm now trying to. Yeah. So you can find me in those places. You can find my music on all the streaming platforms, of course. And I have the journey that I started with for my brothers. The plan was to do a series of 4 albums in that universe. Not like For My Brothers, not a follow-up to For My Brothers. It's not going to be called For My Brothers again. But in that universe, and that universe being a Ghanaian kid that was raised through the 90s. And
you're pulling a Beyonce, a 4-act project.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. But I started before Act 1, so you people.
Okay.
Yeah, I started before. And the plan for me is maybe at the end of that, take a step away from active music making and focus more on the music marketing end, because I feel like our space needs it.
Yeah.
So that's about it. Just keep an ear out for me, and anything that I put out, listen to it with all the honesty that you can. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right, guys, that's our show. I want to remind you, you need to subscribe to this YouTube account, share it, leave a comment, tell people about it. Just like Kojo Q says, if you enjoy it, why do you want to keep it to yourself? Let people know. Okay, share it. Not necessarily a crayon far and wide. Once again, my name is Joseph NT. I want to give a quick shout out to the GCR network. That's the Gold Coast Report. And my co-creator and producer, Mr. Kwame Asante Ofori, which I forgot to do at the beginning. Kwame, don't kill me. But behind the hits with Kojo Q.